Yes. So, hello, let's do this. I am Teresa Bimbury. I'm creative director at Hover Stream, and nice to meet you.
Nice to
Before we
meet you.
start, I got a chance to listen to a couple of your songs, and
Awesome.
the one called Treasury Clay.
Yeah.
It just went straight to my heart. I mean, literally, I listened to it twice. I was in chills.
Oh,
And I'll tell you why. And then we'll move on. But I had to just speak this up quick. The pottery part, the clay making. I had experience in Dubai. Went to a clay pottery making class, and it was mushy, but it was beautiful. It was like
yes.
I felt like addicted to it, but it was just for that session. We got it
Yeah.
was so beautiful, and you got
Yeah.
hands is messy, and the guys instructing you, and I'm like, I like this. It felt
For
European,
sure.
so I
Yeah.
wanted to share that when I saw the video. I'm like, it just brought back that memory, and then the song was beautiful.
Thank
Anyway,
you. I tell you, that was my first time ever working on clay. But after then, it really just changed my perspective about clay in general and just, the thought about God and how He would choose that to make something beautiful out of. So, yeah,
so we have to talk about that more offline because now I have someone to talk to relate with
for
me.
sure.
So we'll start off with some fun facts. Let's have some fun. Uh, um, I have a question. If you could collaborate with any mainstream artist, who would that be?
That's a tough one
Yes.
because I have a lot of favorites and it really a lot depends on, what I'm trying to work on. But I think if I was to choose one, it will be Benjamin Hastings.
Mm.
Benjamin Hastings is one of those singer-songwriters that I really admire his style of writing and just overall, the weight his songs carry. So yeah, that's one I'll go for.
That's so awesome. I get you. I get you. Okay, another song question regarding what would be your go-to karaoke song?
Aha. um, so I have a couple, but I think if it was I had to choose one, I would choose Goodness of God by Sister
Mm,
Winers.
mm,
Um,
love that.
I just love the song. I love, the progression and
Mm-hmm,
everything about it, the lyrics.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get you. I feel you. I feel you. This one would be hard for me too. I'm thinking, I'm wondering who would play you in a movie about your
hmm
life.
Wow.
I know. I was thinking about that for myself, and I'm like, that's a good one.
I know, kind of tricky. Uh, so just thinking through on that, I can choose two. I would say maybe a Gabrielle Union,
Mm-hmm.
um, or a Taraji Henson.
Mm,
Yeah, like it really just
I
depends on
love
what part
her.
of me, maybe the dramatic part of me or the very me.
I
So
love
yeah,
her.
I'd say more of a Gabrielle
I
Union.
get
Yeah.
that. I get that. So, also, if you were to write a song inspired by a book or a
Mm.
movie, which one would it be?
Titanic.
Hmm.
And I'd write a song about Titanic because aside from it being an all-time classic, it's one of those stories that really hits me in a totally different way. I've written a couple of songs around, the storm and the sea and, things
Mm.
like that. So it's so relatable to a lot of things that I picture in my mind. And yeah, just seeing how someone can die for love. It just reminds me of God and,
That's that's
Jesus that had to
beautiful.
die for us. Yeah.
Sounds like you have to put that on your to-do list.
I know. It's a
Okay.
very interesting
Hmm.
one for sure.
So I'm gonna go now towards transition towards music and your faith journey questions type. So
Yeah.
The first one is tell us a little about your journey as a Christian songwriter and author.
Mm, mm. So I have been singing since I knew how to talk and how to, I have been singing for forever. I started out singing in the choir in the children's church. And I remember when I started writing, I was around 7, 8 years old. I would write something very simple, just something comes to mind, and I just write it down. But I never really took it seriously because I did
Mhm,
not come from a family that is
mhm,
very musical.
mhm.
Although a lot of my siblings and my parents know how to sing, but it wasn't a career for them. So I would just write it and just keep it somewhere. But right now, I'm bringing back those songs, even the ones that I wrote when I was really little, and
Awesome. Those are
fine tuning them and just, working to bring that out. So yeah, that's kind of my music journey. I've been writing for a long time, but when I really came out to start producing my songs was in 2022. So I started off with writing um, Out of Zion, which was the first, my debut single.
okay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So you
Yeah.
it sounds like you have a whole array of songs to
Oh
to
yeah. Oh
to
yeah.
develop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
that's
I do.
beautiful. So with that in mind, what inspires your songwriting? Any story behind a song you have right now?
Yeah, so the first song I wrote that I released, the first song I released, not the first song I wrote, but the first song I released, Out of Zion, was inspired by God.
Mhm,
So I had heard that song in my dream, and I had written it down. That was in 2019. I hadn't even thought about going to record anything as at then. I was just in that space of I get songs, I get inspired, I write it, I put it in my songbook. And that particular one, I dreamt, and the dream was quite epic because it was a dream that God had revealed to me. I would say it was more of a revelation than a dream because God had revealed to me the end time in that
mhm.
dream.
Wow.
And it was very significant because it's not an ordinary dream. You just wake up and you
Yes.
forget. And in that dream, I had seen like the earth getting caught up in fire.
Mhm.
And this fire wasn't human started fire. It's something that came from the sky. I literally saw, that spark coming from the sky and burning
Wow.
things up. And the whole earth was burning up, and there were just some sort of set of people, which included myself, that were translated to somewhere else,
Yeah.
and that place was
Mm.
elevated so we could see the
Mm.
earth burning from down. And right at there we started singing that song, and
Wow.
I woke up still singing that song, and I
Wow.
just started writing. And yeah, I kept
That
it.
is
I just kept
that is
it.
very impactful.
Yes, I kept it. And in 2022, 2021, yeah,
Mhm.
2022, you know, God just put it in my heart to release that song. And that just changed the whole journey of things for me because I literally heard him say, "You will sing." And I'm like, I don't have a song. He took my mind
Wow.
back to that dream. And I knew it was that
There
song he
you
wanted
go.
to release
I'm
first. So,
interested in hearing that song. I
yes.
have dreams often and I don't translate into songs, but I write it down.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. Um, so how has your music impacted others in their spiritual journey?
I've heard a lot of comments from people, saying things like my music has really blessed them. Some people say things like, this was just what I needed to hear at this time. And oftentimes I hear people reference my song and say, like you talked about, or like you wrote about in Treasuring Clay, and just
Mm-hmm.
making references to some of the
Mm-hmm.
lyric and lines of the song. And I believe that the song has made more impact than I have heard because as I put it out there, I see a lot of people streaming it. And I believe that in one way or the other, the words of those songs and the Holy Spirit is doing his work to minister that song to
Yes.
people.
Yes, I totally felt Treasure and Clay. It literally, I had got chills, and I thought that was like, wow, I'm getting feeling chills. So that was amazing
That's
feeling.
good.
Uh, so do you have a favorite Bible verse that inspires you?
Hmm. I think one of those verses that have inspired me for a very long time, because during different seasons of my life, I get different inspiration from the Bible, and depending on
Mhm.
even the songs I write and things like that. But one that's really stood out for me through the years is Philippians 4:13. And it says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Mhm.
And this just keeps me going. Like through
Yes,
it all, I stand on that word and I find out that in the midst of the storm or whatever might come my way, I'm still here. I'm still standing. Yeah.
that's me every day.
Oh
That verse.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
also then, uh, who inspires you as a worship artist?
Hmm. There are a lot of them. There are a lot
Hmm.
of them. One
Hmm.
that's been my all-time favorite is Cece Winers.
Hmm.
I looked at her a few weeks back on her social media. I'm like, you're aging like fine wine, girl.
Hmm.
She's just been
Yes.
refreshing, and you know that this is the work of the Holy Spirit, staying in tune with the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit just keeps refreshing her daily. Aside from 16 Winers, I have a lot of other ones, The Weeknd, Stephanie,
Hmm.
Greg Singer, Benjamin Hastings, Chris
Hmm.
Tomlin, Kiki Kier. Sure, there are a lot of them, but yeah, I have a lot. I stay up to date with their songs.
Good stuff. Good music. Well, right. How can you pick one when there's so many
Oh
beautiful?
dear Lord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you all the time. I had a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, sure.
But as a Christian songwriter and author, what advice would you give an inspiring songwriter or author who is just starting their creative journey?
I would say don't be afraid. Do it afraid. Do it anyway. If God is leading you to do something, it might sound very daunting at first because, when I heard God call me into this space to start releasing my songs, my first response was no, because I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert. I'm more
Hmm.
reserved, so I
Hmm.
don't like to be in the spotlight. So I said no, but when he started taking me back to the journey and the dream I had, and just so many other things, I realized, hey, God will call you to do something that is bigger than you, but He wants you to depend on Him because His
Hmm.
grace is always sufficient. So I'd say, if God is leading you to do this, do it afraid. Just do it
Yes.
anyway because He's the one that is going to lead you. And,
Hmm.
with Him, you can do all things, like Philippians
Yes.
4:13. And that would be my first advice. My second advice is be original. You know, don't try to copy someone else. Just
100%.
go with the flow and do it. It's your style. There's no benchmark as to what is the best style of music or what's the best way of getting it out there. Just be original and do your thing.
100%. Feel the fear,
Yeah.
do it anyway, and be original.
Yes.
I love that. So, lastly, this is final question. Interested in know upcoming projects you have us to look
Ah,
out for, and
there's
we're
a lot
waiting.
happening in the works. Yeah. So, well, this one, maybe a little bit is the one that told you this one because I haven't told anyone yet, but I'm working on my debut album. And yeah,
Exciting.
and it's called Rebound. And I'm super excited because I can't really say the date right now. We're still working through that, but it should be out pretty soon. And there are a couple of other singles that would be coming to limelight before the album, just kind of like a pre-release before the album comes in. So yes, I'm working on that, and I know that that album is gonna bless a lot of lives because
Mhm.
I have reading those songs, inspiration coming from the Holy Spirit, and it's just the songs that are needed for the time and seasons that we are in right now. So yeah,
That's
excited.
awesome. Well, you have yourself a new fan because I'm following you. I subscribe.
Oh my God.
I actually shared your the songs Treasury Clay today to my thousand something
Oh, nice.
subscribers. It was
Awesome.
9 o'clock this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was.
I'm
It
so
really
blessed
touched
to
me.
hear that.
And you know what's the
Yeah.
cool thing I like about it? And then I'll let us go. Is that I noticed it was about 7 minutes long, and I like songs like that because they cheat us with these songs. It's only 3 minutes long, and you're feeling it and feeling it, and
Yeah, I
all the words.
know. I
I'm like, wait a
know.
minute. Then I'm like, this is
I
seven. That's like
know.
Stevie. This is the time. This is the like. This is the one. Like a nice longer chance to feel it, and I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. So
Yeah. We mix it up. Some are long, some are short, some are upbeat, some are slow because
yes.
it is everyone is different.
So have
Yeah.
a beautiful, blessed rest of day, and thank you
You
for your
too.
time. And nice
Thank you so
meeting you.
much. Thank you so much,
Take care.
Thursday.
Bye bye.